Welcome to the Ben Daniel Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Great to be here with you guys today. The WNBA. Nothing should surprise us when it comes to this league anymore. It has to be satire, right? It has to be one big joke, right? Well, don't answer that. Don't answer that. It has to be some type of social experiment. How far can the WNBA push the boundaries of ridiculousness before the NBA just says, you know what? You ladies are on your own. The WNBA has an all-star game coming up. The WNBA says its all-star game money will support groups dedicated to keeping girls involved in sports. That's great. That on the surface, that sounds great. Magnificent. Go to charities dedicated in keeping girls involved in sports. Love to see it. But then you dig a little bit beneath the surface. And one of these charities, well, these charities don't believe in boys or girls. They believe in boys, girls, it's, thems, theys, that's. What is that? They believe going past the binary that is boy, girl, male, female. That's right, folks. The WNBA will be donating to a charity that wants to get rid of girls in women's sports. Let's get right into it, shall we? Like the video, hype the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. So I'm scrolling through Twitter and I see Riley Gaines. In the least surprising news of the day, the WNBA continues to be a parody of a professional sports league committed to its own self-implosion. Dan Zashesky of Fox, of Outkick, says the WNBA said this all-star game money will support groups, quote, dedicated to keeping girls involved in sports. One charity pick says it is moving beyond the binary of girl. We're moving beyond. So I click this Dan post and I see, oh, okay, whoa, wait, what? We stand for inclusivity, moving beyond the binary of girl. We welcome LGBTQ plus youth and gender expansive participants, regardless of gender identity or expression. This is one of the charities that the WNBA is promoting. Moving beyond the binary of girl. So if there is a man that identifies as girl, if there's a man or a boy that identifies as it, well, if there's a boy whose parents forces them to identify as it, if there's a boy whose parents forces them to identify as she, if there's a boy whose parents forces them to identify as them, because make no mistake, this is child abuse. This is child abuse when we have young kids, 18 and under, teenagers, 10 and under. This is called child abuse. When we have parents forcing these kids to identify and brainwashing these kids to identify as whatever the heck thing they're identifying as, it's child abuse. The WNBA will be donating to these charities that clap for and support this type of child abuse. The Chicago-based charity Girls in the Game also says it welcomes gender-expansive participants regardless of gender identity or expression. That's the group tied to Team Spoon in the WNBA. Let's take a look at this article, shall we? WNBA All-Star Charity Initiative supports charities that says it is moving beyond the binary of girl. We take a look at the article. The WNBA is celebrating its milestone 30th season with a new all-star initiative that the league says is designed to help keep girls involved in sports. But one of the Chicago area organizations selected to benefit from the league's $100,000 all-star prize pool says on its own website that it is moving beyond the binary and welcomes gender-expansive participants regardless of gender identity or expression. The organization is Girls in the Game, the charity affiliated with Team Spoon in the 2026 WNBA All-Star Game. According to the league's July 15th release, the WNBA All-Star teams will compete for a $100,000 prize pool benefiting two Chicago area organizations dedicated to keeping girls involved in sports. The winning team's organization receives $70,000, while the runner-up's organization gets $30,000. The WNBA described Girls in the Game as an organization that partners with schools, parks, and community centers in Chicago to offer sports, health, and leadership programs. That sounds straightforward enough until you dig deeper into the Girls in the Game website. Outkick, Fox News Digital reviewed the organization's website and found language that raises obvious questions about how Girls in the Game defines girl. Under the heading, quote, "We stand for inclusivity," Girls in the Game says, quote, "Moving beyond the binary of girl, we welcome LGBTQ plus youth and gender expansive participants, regardless of gender identity or expression." So they welcome girls, they welcome boys. That's really all there is. But we'll play along. They welcome theys, they welcome that, they welcome it, they welcome those, they welcome desks, they welcome tables, they welcome chairs. If you are a youth boy whose parents are forcing you to identify as a baboon, then they welcome baboons as well. So the WNBA is donating to charities that support child abuse. Wild. Wait. What? This is the heading right here. Wait. Oh, moving beyond the binary, gender expansive participants. Girls in the Game is not a generic youth charity that happens to work with girls. The organization repeatedly frames its mission around girls, girl sports, and girls-only spaces. So when it says it's moving beyond the binary of girl, people deserve to know what that actually means. OK Fox News has not been able to confirm whether any biological males have participated in Girls in the Game girl-centered sports programming. According to its 2025 annual report, Girls in the Game, yada, 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 yada. The organization's public-facing program materials do not clearly state whether participation is based on biological sex, gender identity, or another eligibility standard. But Girls in the Game's own LGBTQ resource pages also point users toward gender identity-related services. One page lists Howard Brown as a resource that includes gender-affirming healthcare and trans and non-binary care, along with a support group intended for BIPOC, trans, non-conforming, questioning individuals, and the Trans Lifeline Hotline. Another Girls in the Game resource page lists gender-affirming clothing, makeup, community resources, along with God's Closet, which it describes as offering clothes and tailoring for gender non-conforming trans people. There they go again, making a mockery of God. That page also lists a support group for BIPOC You can't make this up. If the WNBA is promoting this as an initiative to keep girls involved in sports, and if one of the beneficiaries said is moving beyond the binary definition of girl, then the league and the organization need to explain who is eligible for those programs. I mean, you really can't make this up. You really can't make this up. The league wants credit for helping keep girls in sports, a noble endeavor to be sure, but before the commissioner's office pats itself on the back too hard, it should probably explain what it means by girls. The WNBA is a joke. The WNBA at every turn continues to prove itself as a joke. They are self-imploding as we speak. How far are we away from moving to what do we have, like two, three dudes in the WNBA now? How far until we move into, okay, that 2-3 turns into 5% of the league, turns into 10% of the league, turns into 15% of the league, turns into 20% of the league? How far does the WNBA continue to move towards that until it just self-implodes, until the NBA is like, I can't, we're getting carried away. This started out as ridiculous, and now this is just further pushing forward the ridiculousness. We made a video a few days ago about Cheryl Reeve saying, oh man, we need men in our sports. We need men in women's sports. They shouldn't be excluded. Men shouldn't be excluded from participating in women's sports. You can't make this up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, hype the video, subscribe to the channel. That means so much to me. See you next time, and as always, take it easy.